Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the channel. We are reviewing Shane Gillis's new Netflix special, Beautiful Dogs. Big time comedian here. Actually, on Netflix, this is taken over. I think is the most popular thing on Netflix, passing the live action One Piece.
It's big
Uh,
time, dude. That's big time.
that is big time. One of the biggest, animes out there. So we're gonna take a look, show you a little clip from this special, and then we're gonna dive in, get some of Hayden's reactions to this special, look at some audience reviews, and also some critic articles discussing what they thought about this. So it should be a lot of fun. Let's jump into it.
No, Australia's good. I was shitting on Australia. Australia might be number 2. That's a good country, dude. Just a whole country doing nothing. That's what I like about them. They're just down there. Zero exports. Creating nothing, dude. They're doing, the only export I've seen come out of Australia is just that YouTube video of that guy punching that kangaroo in the face. Yeah. You know that video? That kangaroo holding that dog hostage out in the woods.
It's good stuff, dude.
Owner
Look
shows
at
up,
Shane.
squares
Dude,
up
I
with
love
the
Shane,
kangaroo.
dude. I think he's such
No,
a funny-looking
kangaroo
human
knew it was a
being.
fight, too.
Look at him, dude.
Guy just
That's a
fucking-
good kangaroo
Decent.
impression right there.
He's nailing the facial
You've seen the
expressions out
video,
there, I
you
will
know how
say.
good
Yeah.
that impression is.
Look at him, dude. That's how kangaroos walk around, bro.
Yeah. Australia gave us that. No, Australia's
That's good stuff, dude.
All right.
I honestly, dude, I think that's pretty funny, to be honest. Apparently, the Australians weren't too fond of that, dude. They took offense to the joke. But, dude, comedy is in a realm where, we like to poke fun. And I don't even think he's attacking Australia necessarily. It's a different place, dude. United States, dude, the United States in general are known for exporting a lot of things, playing a big influence in world politics and world affairs. You think of the United States and we have this big army, dude, big ego, and we industrialize the world. In Australia, dude, they are just down there chilling. It's not a bad thing necessarily, I think Shane's just poking fun at it a little bit, dude, and he does a little impression of the kangaroo, and I think it's really funny, man. I've seen Beautiful Dogs, dude. Incredible special. This is one of the funniest stand-up specials I've seen in a long time. Second funniest, dude, I think, is his Live in Austin special, available on YouTube. Super funny, dude. Super funny. It's like a 48-minute special. He doesn't do the full hour, but it's really funny, dude. And Shane Gillis kind of gives you this impression that he's kind of just like your bro, like the funny guy that you knew in high school. And his delivery is so unique. It's not like he's going up there and reciting jokes and he has this very formulaic way of doing his material. He's just kind of relating with the audience and making funny faces and doing impressions and kind of playing the audience that way, dude. And I think, I think he has a lot of potential coming up here. He's still kind of a fresh comic, and I'm excited to see what he's going to put out next. I really enjoyed Beautiful Dogs. I thought it was incredible. Yeah, dude. What do you think about that clip, Ryan?
Yeah, so I can understand where some Australians are potentially coming from there, but it is a space where, like, in comedy, I can totally understand what you're saying. And just for reference, I have not watched this special, so I'm here to just facilitate the discussion between Hayden's thoughts on this special, along with many of the others, the critics, the audience reviews. So that's what we're going to jump into right now. Okay, so this first review from a member of the audience who saw this, Austin Barton. If you don't know his name now, you will. Easily one of the best stand-up specials I've ever watched. He's so talented and easy to relate to. He pushes the audience comfort level right to the edge with every joke. I can't wait to see more from Shane. Check out his podcast, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Dude, one person found this helpful too, so shout out. So yeah, with this, so I think Austin shares a lot of the same sentiments as you were, like, especially when we're talking about that edge with every joke, really finding like that threshold of how far is the majority of your audience okay with you going with certain jokes to where you're getting like max funniness while also like not trying to, offend anybody. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, dude, I think good comedians know how to ride the line. I think Shane Gillis throughout this special, he pushes it in a very far conservative direction. I think he's one of the few conservative voices in comedy that's actually funny, dude. He pushes it really far, and then he switches back, dude. It's so funny, dude, how he does it. He talks about touring, George Washington's slave quarters, and then also like being super patriotic and thinking George Washington's the best because he did defeat the British. You know what I mean? And just like and playing the extreme on both sides, and he does it so well, dude, and I love to see it. And this special, dude, is actually near and dear to my heart because I saw this live, dude. I saw this live in Minneapolis early on this tour, and it was a very different special. It's very interesting to see which jokes hit and which jokes don't hit, because when I saw him live, dude, like the jokes that were the funniest were very minor jokes in the film Netflix special, because he figured out this way to intertwine and weave them seamlessly to fill out that full hour. When I saw him, dude, he performed maybe 43 minutes in Minneapolis, and it was just him kind of like up on the stage spitballing, having a good time. He still killed, but it was like a little choppy. And then when you go on tour and you take this set of jokes with you and you figure out new ways to craft them and like kind of seam them together, like there's multiple points in this special where there are callbacks to previous jokes late in the special, and it kills. It absolutely kills because he finds these ways to connect these ideas, and it's very masterful. I think, again, this is one of the funniest specials I have seen in a long time.
Dude, that's interesting what you were saying about how I think there can be a very distinct difference between if you're here live, being able to see something like this versus watching the special back on Netflix, where it's going to be a lot more heavily produced and you're not getting that raw experience. Because I think, like you said, there can be it can add a lot of value and a lot of laughs when you are getting a little bit more of just the not mess, but just the real raw, like whole production, if that makes sense, versus something that's more overly produced. But dude, let's move on here to another review, dude. Carlin, dude, she's saying a lot of the same things, dude. So we're gonna, she really likes this special as well. But I want to spice it up. So I gotta find something else here, dude. I want to scroll down all the way down here. Dude, look at this. Brendan Williams, don't watch this in public where people will look at you funny for laughing too much.
Look at that, dude.
So I guess.
Dude, Brendan was a fan too.
But actually, dude,
this is what I'm saying though, bro. Like, everybody's a fan. Yeah, everybody's a fan, bro. And in a second, dude, we will dive into some people who think Shane Gillis is like not a good comedian, dude, or not even a good person, dude. But he is funny, and you cannot deny that, dude. Like, funny is always funny. You know what I mean? And that's the X factor. Funny doesn't have to be nice. Funny doesn't have to be, like, playful and good. But, dude, funny is, like, visceral, and it cuts right through the artifice, dude. And it reaches to you, and it pulls you up out of your chair, and it gets you to laugh. And that's what Shane Gillis does, dude. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. Dude, and so with that, dude, since all these reviews are very positive, I want to take a look at something that's a little bit more critical of Shane and this special. So that's what we're going to check out next. So here we have an article from Matt Solomon titled "Shane Gillis Wants It Both Ways in Netflix Special Beautiful Dogs." And basically, we can look through this article. It actually has some quotes from some of the audience with not happy with the Australian joke, for instance, or some of the other material in the special. But basically, the author here is saying that Shane, although he had said some pretty bad jokes in the past that have really gotten under a lot of the audience's skin and offended them, he seems to have retracted that back a little bit, but is still crossing that line, but just trying to do it almost like slightly navigating it in a different way of how he addresses these potentially offensive jokes, and hoping that the way it comes off is just like different to where it won't be as offensive. But Matt here is saying that basically he thinks it's going to catch up with Shane, and that eventually people are he is going to get in more trouble. We talk about from his stint at SNL. I guess he got fired from
Correct.
SNL
He
due
did
to,
get, dude. He got canned from SNL, dude,
yeah. And so
for
basically,
making
the author's saying,
inappropriate jokes.
or yeah, and so the author's saying here that like, although specific things he has reeled in just a tad, he's he thinks that it is going to catch up with him, and that you may potentially see that happen to Shane again. But at the same time, like, is that kind of what Shane is going for? So, any and all thoughts that you have on Matt Solomon's thoughts here?
Dude, okay, so Matt Solomon, dude, I think he's a little bit pessimistic, dude. He's a little bit Debbie Downer, dude. Shane Gillis isn't going to be famous in a few years, dude, because it's going to catch up to him. It's all going to catch up to him, dude. Him making all these jokes about Australia being gay is going to catch up to him, dude. Know what I have to say about that? It's not going to happen, dude. And I may be a huge Shane Gillis fan and super biased, dude, but he's, it's like the Joe Rogan effect or the Trump effect. When you try to cancel someone, it has the reverse effect, unless it's Kanye, and they just get more popular. They just get more popular. They get more attention. They get more media, dude. And that's what's happening with Shane Gillis, dude. I think this is a pretty negative review for the most part, because it's taking these quotes out of context. And so much of comedy is taking these sentences that are extremely taboo and making them palpable because you're adding this personality behind them. And I think that's what happens in this special with Shane Gillis. Dude, I gotta take a swig of my milk because I'm getting stressed out, dude. I'm getting parched. I'm getting parched, dude. They're coming after my boy. They're coming after my boy in this article, and I don't like it, dude. I don't like it. Just had to get a little swig. We're back. We're back, baby. And all I have to say, dude, is I love Shane Gillis, dude. This guy can go to hell.
Well, that's just not very nice of Matt Solomon. I think what Matt Solomon is doing here, to play a little devil's advocate, is like reading, some of the thoughts from members of the audience that weren't so fond of the tone and specific jokes still, and is basically trying to extrapolate out and I guess kind of make the prediction that this will continue to happen, and it's not going to end well for him. And I can understand what you're saying, because I think
I might have been a little bit severe with my tone, dude, but I think it's just a lot of talk, dude. It's just a lot of talk when he's number one on Netflix. You know what I mean?
And see, that's the thing. Numbers don't lie, right?
Numbers don't lie, dude.
Beating out the live One Piece.
Beating out live One Piece, bro. Are you kidding me?
That's big time. I have to admit, I'm sure there's a lot of One Piece fans out there. Shout out, that's
the One
big
Piece
time right
fans,
there.
bro.
So, but I think I can understand where he's coming from by basically
Correct.
saying, look, even though he has reeled it in certain aspects or tried to navigate these specific jokes in a different direction, it's not enough, and it's not so much so to where it will still come back to bite him. But I understand what you're saying with like how it, like, at the end of the day, it may just not matter. Like, Shane, he may be able to keep doing these jokes, and like if he has the right address, the right cadence, the right just everything, all the context, all the pieces coming together, like, I don't think people are gonna mind. And like that's a great description, right? Like, everything's just meshing and molding together for this perfect storm, and I think that's why you see it at the top of the charts,
dude. And with this next article, dude, we're gonna hop into maybe a more pro Shane Gillis article. See the other side of the coin, see my point of view. Let's hop right in. All right, so just taking a look here, we got the title, Comedian Shane Gillis was effectively canceled by Saturday Night Live in 2019. Now with a new Netflix special, he's the most popular comic on streaming. And then we got a cute little picture of Shane Gillis, dude, telling a joke in a t-shirt. Love it. And then it goes on to detail his rise to stardom, being number one on Netflix, dude. Long time coming, dude. Long time coming. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
And dude, this article is by Sean L. McCarthy, but like you said, he has a little bit more positive view on Shane Gillis in this special, and more so kind of just detailing Shane Gillis's journey over the past few years. Obviously, getting canned from Saturday Night Live, and then even, you know, where is it? Sean talked about the amount of Patreon support that Shane had regarding his podcast, where in late 2020 there was like 6,000 people on his Patreon, and now it's like 69,000 plus on his Patreon. So you can see, just think about that explosion. That's like not just like new listeners and stuff. That's like people who are paying money for bonus content. That's pretty big in a matter of a couple
I just want to
years.
add one thing, dude. He records this Patreon podcast, this podcast that he puts out on YouTube, bonus episodes on Patreon. He records it and spitballs new content, new jokes on this podcast with his comedian friends, with Matt McCusker, he's a big stand-up as well. Really funny guys, and they just like spitball and tell jokes for, you know, a few hours, dude, and they sharpen their craft, and that's how they come up with new stand-up content as well. So it's like this beast that feeds itself, and they're engaging with the art form, and I really do respect it, dude. I think that's like how good jokes come about, is like people just spitballing in a room and being themselves, dude. And I feel like that's what you get with the Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast, dude. It feels like the boys are just kicking it in a room, dude, and it's a fun time, dude. Like there's a cool energy and a cool buzz where they're willing to say anything to get a reaction out of the other person. And I think that's where a lot of stand-up comedy kind of lies, to get that reaction, find that joke that's pushing the boundaries. And it's really cool to see, dude.
Okay, yeah, dude, I love that take right there. So the last thing I kind of want to get your thoughts on here is, I actually think this article, which again is a little bit more pro Shane Gillis compared to the last one, they have a little bit of a similar take. So I want to get your thoughts on this. So if we take a look here, Sean says, on stage, Gillis has by turns leaned into his anti-woke reputation and taken pains to subvert it. So a little bit of both ways there. Okay, when we look back at the last article, we didn't mention this on the last article, but this is something that Matt said. Dude, I'm sorry, it's just not pulling up right now.
Dude, that's all right.
Dude, Matt, I'm trying to figure out what Matt's. I don't want to misquote Matt. You know, that's
you can misquote him, dude. I don't really care.
See, I know you don't care, but you know, as a you know, as a journalist here, all right.
Yeah, dude. As a as a journalist, dude, you want to get it right, dude. I mean, the gist was just negative, dude. I didn't like it, dude.
Dude, okay. Dude, I can't find it. I really can't find it. But what he's basically saying is, there was this one caption. He's like, Shane Gillis is trying to have his cake and eat it too. But, so the point is, I think that no, but listen, I think that comment and what Sean says here are very similar, right?
Yeah.
And you can give me your thoughts on this.
Okay.
He's trying to have his cake and eat it too. And I think he's mentioning that in regards to like half reeling in the certain offensive jokes while keeping them there. And I think Sean is kind of saying the same thing with on stage. Gillis has by turns leaned into his anti-woke reputation and taken pains to subvert it. So he's like doing a little bit of both, trying to like,
dude, but that's the thing, bro. They're both critiquing for the same thing, dude. It's like that, but that's the art form of comedy, is subverting,
finding that sweet spot, right?
Finding the sweet spot, dude. They're describing finding the sweet spot, having your cake, eating it too, if you want to put it that way, or subverting your more harsher tendencies, your more like harsher opinions, but also like still sprinkling in, you know, some of the more zesty material. You know what I'm saying? And that's what finding the sweet spot is all about. They're just describing the art form of comedy, dude.
Now, but it is interesting to see the difference on their take, because they seem to have a similar take on what Shane is doing, but a very different outlook on how that will translate into the future. Whereas, was it Matt basically thinking it's not going to end well, right? He keeps going down this road, like the success is just going to slow down, and he's going to find himself into more trouble. Whereas Sean here like doesn't say anything like that, and he's kind of saying that seems to be working for him, and like kind of what you're saying, like he's kind of found that sweet spot, found that middle ground to where it's a perfect storm and it's coming together for him.
And I mean, you guys have to help us out in the comment section. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Shane Gillis will be a household name for years to come? Do you think his sketch comedy will continue to evolve? His stand-up comedy will continue to evolve? This is his first Netflix stand-up special, and it is number one, dude. Number one. My opinion is stats don't lie, baby. Stats don't lie, dude. I think he's going to be around for a long, long time. I think his craft is very special, dude, and he's a rare voice in comedy. But leave your comment in the comment section. Please let me know what you guys think.
Let us know what you thought about this specific special, right? You know, definitely get your thoughts down below. What you thought about the Netflix special, and yeah, dude, any last words?
Dude, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is our first commentary video in a while. Let us know if you guys liked it, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much.